What is up, everybody? Welcome into another episode here on Wide Eye Sports. We are live. If you are watching, make sure to like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. We talk pretty much all NFL here on the channel. We specialize in Vikings, Bears, Cowboys, and Chiefs, but we do individual episodes for each of those teams every week. But we talk a little bit of ball all over the place here. Boys, how about that Super Bowl? I know I've seen a lot of stuff online about how it was boring. I was into it. I was into it the whole time. Steve, I know you've talked about how you thought it was kind of there was like three big plays. I loved that Super Bowl. I thought it was fun. I was also cheering for the Hawks, so that may have been, a little different for some people. Anybody?
I was going to ask you guys. I mean, we can go ahead and ask, and then we can give our reasons why. But I was going to say, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you guys rate the entire Super Bowl experience this year?
Oh, entire Super Bowl experience?
Like, we're not going to talk about the halftime show. I don't want to go in depth, but that's not us. But I want to know. The entire experience. How was it?
I mean, overall, it was like a 7.5.
See, I'm lower than that, man.
Here.
You were cheering for the Seahawks, but
I was cheering for the Hawks, so that's a big one. Lots of family investment there, financial investment in that. So cheering for the Hawks. And they won, so that obviously plays a big part in it. But until like the 9-minute mark in the fourth quarter, it never felt like it. But it was only a 2-score game.
Yeah.
Like if the Patriots had turned it, if Drake May doesn't throw that interception, that 35-yard interception, like if they complete that pass, right, they get that pass off. Now they're in field goal range to make it a 10-point game. Yeah. And now we have a real ball game. So like, I'm not. Like it for the most, like at the end, it definitely got away and all that stuff. So like it probably raised it up for me a little bit. So it's probably a true 7 if I have no personal investment, but I would give it a 7.5.
Okay. I mean, you have totally just lost what I was going to say, but anyway.
Man, I probably would have put it around 5. I expected it to be a little higher scoring.
Yeah, Spoon did too.
I did as well.
I had thought going into it, I said on the last podcast, I was worried about Drake May throwing some picks, turning the ball over, just because he'd been doing that all playoffs.
Yeah.
But it was close up until the fourth quarter.
Yeah, the last 10 minutes of the game.
I don't think he had turned the ball over until the fourth quarter, but once he did, it was just turnover after turnover.
He had the fumble before the fourth quarter.
Did he?
And then the 2 picks.
Yeah, and then he had the 2 picks.
Okay.
I think that just goes to show you. I was just going to say. I remember what I was going to say. It just goes to show you how suffocating Seattle was.
Oh, yeah.
We talk about all this stuff in the NFL, man, and everything that happens and the pieces that everybody needs. I think it really just goes to show how much the game is won in the trenches when you have a good D-line versus a good O-line. And New England's O-line did not show up. Everybody on Twitter, on X, was talking about Will Campbell's draft.
Will Campbell working at Amazon, baby.
Bro, you let Drake May die. You said you would die for Drake May, my guy. You died. You died.
Let him die.
Well, the Patriots did what they were supposed to do. They put a ton of pressure on Sam Darnold, which was exactly what they needed to do to win the game.
Yeah.
But I think, the Seahawks just put so much more pressure on Drake May.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm trying to look up our team offense. There it is.
So just letting you know, my score went along with yours. I was in between like a 4 and a 5, probably more like a 5, because it was still a 2-score game in the fourth quarter. But man, it was hard to get through those first 3 quarters just seeing 4 field goals kicked. Like I wanted to see
most points by a kicker in Super Bowl history, 17.
Yeah. Most points by any player in one season. Jason Myers did. He broke LT's record. Crazy. Most points of anybody in a season. And for that alone, I think he should have gotten Super Bowl MVP. He also had the most points.
I was sitting next to you on the couch watching the game, and I said, it's Kenneth Walker or Jason Myers for me.
Kenneth Walker is the sexier pick, and he did a lot more for the offense. Okay. Yeah. He was the engine that kept the offense. he may have been the engine, but the tires keeping the car on the road were Myers. Without Myers, they have 0 points outside of that.
But without
touchdown.
Kenny Walker, you don't even get down there.
You don't know that. You don't know
They go.
Kalani could have done that. Charbonnet could have done that if he was healthy. Not saying he could have because he was unhealthy. But if wishes were fishes, the world would be no. But I just felt like Myers deserved it more. But Kenneth Walker also very deserving of it. Not saying he's like
He
95.
had a great playoff.
Yeah, he had a great postseason.
Oh yeah,
he deserves it. I just think Myers deserved it more. If ticky-tacky stuff.
Yeah.
So I do want to bring up, Steve, you said I think sorry, my cough. Steve, you said I think this brings up, and that made me think of something. I think this brings, you said the Seahawks defense was just suffocating, and they're showing a lot of comparisons between this defense and the Legion of Boom. I would like to put a kibosh on that right now. Okay.
Let's hear it.
This defense is not the Legion of Boom. This defense is not that. They're not the Legion of Boom. They are completely different defense. They win in the trenches, similar to Philadelphia last year. This Seahawks team reminds me so much of that Philadelphia team. So much. They win in the trenches. They have good cornerback play, and they have good safeties, but they have good safeties and good cornerbacks, not all-pro level secondary
Not
play.
Cam Chancellor and Richard Sherman.
Yeah, Cam
Exactly.
Chancellor.
This defense.
They also had
Hold on.
stud linebacker with Bobby Wagner.
Yeah. Ernest Jones actually had 11 tackles in the Super Bowl. Shout out to him. He played amazing. This Seahawks defense got to play. They had a positive EPA against. I'm pulling up every team here. Sorry, give me a couple seconds. And I'm going to give you the quarterbacks for the teams where they had a positive EPA or EPA. Max Brosmer, Brock Purdy, that's an okay one. Michael Penix, Bryce Young, Trevor Lawrence, that's an okay one. So sorry, we're at 3. Sorry. Drake May, obviously. I don't know who played the Saints game. I'm gonna pull this up real quick. Who played in the Saints game against them? Spencer Rattler. So we've talked about the Patriots and Spencer Rattler a ton. And then I think Daniel Jones played against them, didn't he? No, Phillip Rivers. So in Phillip Rivers' first game back, so I'm not gonna really count that one. CJ Stroud, Jacoby Brissett. Oh, that's a negative, sorry. And then Jacoby Brissett again. So 8 of the quarterbacks this team faced were just straight up bad quarterbacks. Just bad quarterbacks. Every team that they had a positive EPA on defense against, bad quarterback.
You're talking about Seattle?
Yeah, Seattle.
Oh, you didn't want to bring up JJ in that?
He didn't play against them.
Oh, he did.
Max Brosmer
okay.
did. We can talk about JJ though if you want to
that's
talk about
fine.
his Cowboys game. You want to talk about the Cowboys game real quick? You want to talk about him walking into Jerry World and just dropping it on him?
Yeah, I was gonna
Didn't
say,
think
aren't most Super Bowl Sundays for Cowboys fans 5s? About 4 or 5 ratings.
4 or 5 rating.
No.
Somewhere in there.
Come on, man.
It's
That
about-
Falcons-Patriots Super Bowl was amazing. The Chiefs' comeback on the 49ers was awesome.
No, he was just talking smack, dude. He was just talking smack.
No, this
Bro.
was just this
meant
one
it.
wasn't just that good, I thought. It was a little
Okay, hold on. So here's the quarterbacks that hit a positive rating against the Seahawks on offense. Brock Purdy, Jaden Daniels, Matthew Stafford, and
Stafford torched
Baker-
that defense.
Baker Mayfield. That's it. Oh, sorry. Cam Ward was also a negative rating against them, so another bad quarterback. But so 4 quarterbacks had a good rating against this defense, and all 4 are really good quarterbacks. So when this defense played really good quarterbacks, the defense didn't play at an all-pro level. Like, they played good, don't get me wrong. Like, they still held Jaden Daniels to 14 points. They still held Matthew Stafford to 21 points in the first game. They still held Brock Purdy to 17 points in that loss. But they also allowed a total of 64 points to the Rams in 2 games. And they let the Titans put up 24 points. Now, Cam Ward didn't play all that great, but they let it happen. And they let Baker Mayfield walk into their house and put up 38 points. So when a good quarterback was playing against them, generally speaking, over half the time, the defense didn't play at a Legion of Boom level.
So let me ask you, do you think the Seahawks defense is great, or do you think the Patriots made their defense look better?
Oh, Patriots made their defense look all time. I've been saying this for weeks. The Patriots are the schedule. Like, we can make as many memes as we want, whatever you want to say about it. Drake May showed what happens when he had to play good defenses. Go look at the playoffs. He played terribly, right? And the New England defense played against terrible quarterbacks or terrible offenses throughout the playoffs, and they got to skate by and make it to the Super Bowl where they had to play a good overall team in the Seahawks. And it just proved what we've all been saying is that the AFC was really, really weak this year. Really, really weak.
So I saw a tweet earlier today, and to go along with what you said, and the guy literally, he said that half of the NFC probably could have won that Super Bowl. That might be an exaggeration, but I was going to tell you, Riley, I was like, honestly, I think the Bears win that game. If the Bears are playing the Patriots, Bears win. Rams definitely for sure win.
I think if CJ Stroud doesn't shit the bed.
Yeah, no, if CJ Stroud doesn't throw or have 5 turnovers, the Texans are Super Bowl champions.
I don't know about that, but I think that game is a lot better. I think that game's a lot better if it's Houston.
To what you were saying, Spoon, I can't bash Drake May too much because Caleb Williams had a ton of turnovers in his 2
hold on. Riley. Time out. Hold on.
Plays in those games.
Riley, hold on. You can bash Drake May all you want. You don't have to. It's not about you bashing him because you're a Caleb fan. It's about what we watched. Like, don't feel like just because you have Caleb and Caleb made mistakes,
but that goes back to what Caleb's wow plays were keeping us in those games, whereas Drake May's defense was keeping him in those games.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
That is what I would say the difference is. But, I mean, both second-year quarterbacks both had – I mean, Drake May made it to the Super Bowl, but they didn't have great games.
So, tell me this. Neutral site, who wins? Patriots, Bears. Everybody tell me.
Bears.
I'm
taking the Bears.
Steve? Bears?
Bears, yeah.
Just make sure. Eagles, Patriots. I'm taking the Eagles.
I would probably, I'd probably take the Eagles.
Eagles, cool. Panthers, Patriots.
Patriots.
I would lean Patriots there. But go ahead, Steven.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Patriots, so there's one. Rams, we're all taking the Rams.
Of course.
Yep.
San Fran, I'm taking San Fran.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, that San Francisco offense looked elite against everybody except for their division. Mm-hmm. They struggled in division games heavily.
They were real injured there at the end, man. That substation is just.
That's why I was iffy, because like if they're healthy, 100% this.
We're assuming they're healthy. Neutral site, everybody's healthy. We're on the ones.
Oh yeah, San Francisco beats
Green Bay.
There. I was waiting for you to say that one. I'm taking Green Bay.
I'm taking Green Bay
too.
Yeah, if I'm taking the Bears, I'd take Green Bay.
Okay. Detroit.
On a neutral site, probably.
Yeah, I'd lean Detroit.
I think I might too.
I'm taking Detroit. Tampa Bay.
I'd take the Patriots.
I'd take Tampa healthy.
That's too.
Tampa healthy.
Tampa was healthy, yeah, but
we're assuming health.
If we're assuming health, then give me Tampa.
Okay. We're on to the Vikings.
Patriots.
I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'm sorry.
Me either.
I mean,
I talk shit, but I can't do it.
I mean, that's insane.
Where we draw the line.
See, that's crazy to me because the Vikings had a tougher schedule than the Bucks and the Lions and finished with a better record. So that's crazy to me. And they swept the Lions. That you guys could pick those teams. The Vikings defense was insane. Okay, but anyways, we made it through. We made it through
the
1,
Vikings 2. Were less healthy than both of those teams.
Absolutely.
Than Tampa?
Okay, maybe not Tampa at its peak, but definitely more than Detroit. Tampa takes the cake at its peak. I would absolutely give you that. That's fair. But so, anyways, we made it through 9 NFC teams. Okay, hold on. Tell me this: would you take the Cowboys? Because I would take the Cowboys over the Patriots in a neutral site game. It would be an absolute shootout, but I could trust the Cowboys offense to put up 45 points.
It's not unfair.
See now, but that's the thing is like now we're talking about the Cowboys who finished 7-9-1, and now it's like those are iffy games.
Yeah,
Like that's how close we think this Patriots team is to those teams.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
And they played in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree completely. And to be completely clear, I think if Bo Nix stays healthy, the Denver Broncos win that game
We're watching
24-10,
We're
and they walk into the Super Bowl. But I also think
Seattle
that
wins the Super Bowl.
Seattle wins the Super Bowl in very similar fashion because the Broncos defense is definitively a great defense. Like, it was a top 3 defense in my opinion, but I cannot express to you how I watched that Super Bowl, and if Bo Nix is in that game, I feel worse about the Broncos playing in that than Drake May and the Patriots. I feel Seattle's defense would have played better against the Broncos offense than they played against the Patriots offense because I feel I'm more confident in the Patriots offense than I am the Broncos offense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe the Seahawks don't score as many points, but I think the defense plays even better against the Broncos. So I think the entire AFC, I think the 2 best teams in the AFC, and call me crazy, were Houston and Buffalo.
Yeah,
Anybody?
Yeah.
I
mean,
think those.
I'll agree with that.
And don't get me wrong, the Patriots and the Broncos beat those teams in the playoffs and deserve respect. But I feel those are more any given Sunday games than they were. Oh wow, that team was so dominant. Like Houston lost because their quarterback turned the ball over 5 times, and that deserved to be talked about. But that defense is insane. Like if you're the Patriots, I don't know. That's getting into if he's too much.
Either way, to finish the whole like talking of or the Seahawks were going to beat anybody.
Yeah, the Seahawks were going to be anybody.
We made how many playoff predictors? Like we made 3, 4. Like we would like going through it after each
NFC
division.
West team.
And it was always either I think Seattle won
Rams
like
or
2
Seahawks.
or 3.
Yeah.
Did the Rams? I thought we had the Niners in one of them.
We had the Niners losing
To
to the
Rams.
Seahawks in the NFC Championship in one of them.
That's right. But yeah, it was always Rams Seahawks every
Yeah.
single time.
Yeah.
Which that was the Super Bowl technically.
Yeah.
Thanks for cheering, man.
I feel
I
like
mean, hear me out. I would take this year's Chicago team over. I would take them over Pittsburgh, Buffalo, LA, and New England. I would take this year's Chicago team over 4 AFC teams, and I think Chicago was the
I don't know
best
about
team in the playoffs. On the
I
NFC
don't know
side.
about Buffalo just because I think Josh Allen and James Cook would have a field day against that defense. It would be more about what our offense could do.
That's fair, but the Bears' offense is predicated around how would they be successful? They run the ball. Buffalo had the worst rushing defense in the entire league. I mean, DeAndre Swift, as bad as he is, would have 175 yards. Like it wouldn't be close. But like I said, then we're getting into ifs and ands and stuff. But I really do think that I would take the Packers, who I think were the worst team in the NFC, no question about it. I would take the Packers.
think they were worse than the Panthers.
Yes,
Okay.
I really do.
I wanted to.
Panthers played really well. Bryce Young played really well towards the end of the season.
Yeah, they almost
the
won it.
Panthers. Yeah, the
People forget
Panthers
they
only,
almost won the Rams game.
Yeah,
they
only
almost
lost
won
by
that game.
3.
Yeah,
Well, they beat the Rams during the season, didn't they?
yeah, the first time.
Yeah.
The Packers are. Anyways, I would take the Packers over on a neutral site, not in a home game for the other team. And on a neutral site, I would take them straight up against the Chargers, against the Steelers for sure, and then I would call it a pick'em if they were playing the Patriots, and then maybe the Bills. Houston, New England, and Denver, I feel like all would be favored. But that's only 3 AFC teams that are truly favored against the worst team in the NFC.
That's
I
how
mean,
weak.
I-
That's how weak the AFC is, man.
Yeah, I just don't see it. I don't see it. Yeah, it's crazy to me. Back to the Super Bowl. Congratulations to the Seahawks again. I just want to say congrats to them.
Shout out.
Never any doubt.
You won one in the Patrick Mahomes era. That's saying something.
Yeah, one. Them two NFC West teams are the only two teams to win the Super Bowl when Patrick Mahomes wasn't playing in it. Kind of weird stat there. The Rams and the Seahawks. Rams beat the Bengals, and then Seahawks beat the Patriots. I do want to bring up, does this, Steve, you don't get to answer this. Does this asterisk this Super Bowl in any way, shape, or form because Patrick Mahomes wasn't in the postseason for anybody?
No,
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
Okay, cool. It restricts the AFC side a little bit, like the playoffs a little bit, but not the Super Bowl. Right.
I'm a little biased.
I think
I'm a little biased.
I think a healthy Chiefs team definitely makes the AFC playoffs a little more like interesting.
Yeah, the
Well,
Chargers probably don't make it.
Yeah, the
If-
Chargers probably don't make it. They might beat the Patriots game
I'll
one.
say this:
then.
a healthy Chiefs team, I think, beats the Steelers. Could go toe to toe with the Broncos. Could go toe to toe with the Patriots.
We went toe to toe with the Broncos with Chris Olave. They barely beat us.
Yeah, no. I mean, but it's a
with our
divisional
third
game.
stringers.
But it's a
I
divisional
know.
game. Hold on. I would take Jacksonville. I would take Houston, and Buffalo's another toss-up.
I think you could
So,
put an asterisk
compete.
next to it if you talk about how Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow, how none of them were playing in it.
Yeah, but the best
outside of
quarterback from that
Josh
draft
Allen.
class was in the Super Bowl.
Huh?
I said
He
the
was,
best
and he
quarterback
won.
from that draft class was in the Super Bowl, Sam Darnold.
The Vikings could have had a Super Bowl winning quarterback, but
But they wouldn't because he wouldn't have won the Super Bowl with us. He'd be sitting on his couch watching Matt Stafford win the Super Bowl.
if that's what you have to tell yourself, we will support
We
you.
bought
I
you.
don't know. I could
you-
feel. I could feel. I could feel a little wishy washy about it, and like you said, ifs and buts or candies and nuts. But I feel like if this is one of those years, and I think I said this last week, this is one of those years where I feel like if Kansas City had any of those previous Patrick Mahomes teams from previous years in this
Yeah.
round of playoffs, again, it's an ifs and ifs and ifs and ifs and
Yeah,
ifs.
yeah.
But,
We're talking ifs. Yeah, we're
but,
talking ifs. I think this year in the NFL will go down very similar to 2012 when the Ravens beat the 49ers. I think this is one of those seasons, right? This is a 2017 season when the Eagles beat the Patriots, right? This isn't, and I'm sorry, you people can be mad about this as they want, but people have talked about like the Seahawks have $70 million in cap space.
They do.
$70
going away.
million in cap space. But let's really deep dive that for a second. I have a tweet here. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. Let me pull it up for everybody. I got it here. So they have $70 million in cap space, and people are like, they're not going anywhere. They're going to be so good for so long. Here's what they have to do this offseason. They have to either extend or fifth-year option JSN, and you can bet your bottom dollar JSN is not going to go, yeah, no, I'll just pay for like $15 million on my fifth-year option. That's fine. No. He just had Offensive Player of the Year and a huge season. He is going to walk in the room and go $40 million or I'm leaving this organization next year. Like, period. End of story. Their best cornerback, Witherspoon, needs to be extended this offseason. He's on his fifth-year option. Kenneth Walker's a unrestricted free agent. He could walk. He's going to want $15 million.
He could get franchised.
Yeah, he could be, but you're going to pay him $13 million on a franchise and piss him off, or pay him $15 million to just stay with you. Like, I don't know if that's worth saving $2 million. Because
I don't know either. Because he's gonna sit there and be like, "I'm Super Bowl MVP." What do you mean?
He's your Super Bowl MVP, and I would argue, outside of Myers, the biggest reason their offense succeeded in the playoffs, as a whole. Then you have a guy who you just traded for, Raheed Shaheed, and your number 2 wide receiver, or number 3 technically, Cooper Kupp. You can count as number 2, but for the majority of the season, Cooper Kupp didn't play as well as he did in the playoffs. But if you want to throw away a draft pick, you can. Nwosu, who's a key piece of their defense, has to be extended this offseason. Their right tackle, Josh Jones, is an unrestricted free agent. Josh Jobe, one of their cornerbacks, unrestricted free agent. Kobe Bryant, one of their safeties, unrestricted free agent. And Tyreek Woolen, their other starting corner, unrestricted free agent.
They're going to lose a couple of those guys.
So, yeah. And we aren't even talking about the biggest elephant in the room. To me, that's Sam Darnold. You think Sam Darnold is just going to show up next season for $30 million? He just won you a Super Bowl. I'm going to the Seahawks being like, because the Seahawks have an out after next season. They can cut him with no money paid. You think I'm going to play next season knowing I only have 1 year of job security? No chance. So they're going to have to pay him more. Right. JSN eats up over half of their open cap space solo. Because I would wager that JSN isn't going to take 40. I would wager he wants 42. Because Jamar Chase has 40. So you do that combined with Witherspoon, you're going to have to pay him $15 to $20 million a year. And that would only put him as like the third or fourth highest cornerback paid. And he's your best cornerback on defense. Both your safeties, couple linebackers. You have a couple D linemen on expiring deals who are cheap, but like you have to fill those spots. And they only have 5 draft picks. Like, it's not just like, oh, this is a super team for years to come. Like, they're going to have to... Now, granted, if they can keep nailing the draft, they will be. And they have been doing that flawlessly for the past 3 years. So, credit where credit's due. If they keep doing what they're doing in the draft, they're going to be a super team. But they have players that are on expiring contracts, need to be extended, that aren't just going to play for less money. Like, that's not how this works. Or else every team would just go undefeated forever. And I've heard a lot of people already saying like, well, these guys will take hometown discounts because they just won the Super Bowl. No, professional athletes are way bigger egos than that. Yeah. Way bigger egos than that. They will be like, what do you mean? I'm a Super Bowl champion. I'm part of the reason you got a Super Bowl. I need to be compensated like it. And they have agents whispering in their ear going, you're worth more. Because that agent gets more money if they get paid more money. So that agent just wants the price to go up. Yeah. So I do think the Seahawks team will be in it next year. I don't think they're going to disappear off the face of the map. But I also don't think that we should be running to the ATM to pull out money to play Super Bowl champion bets on the Seahawks next season. Like, I need to see this offseason play out. Now, if they somehow manage to pull all those pieces back in, they have a great shot at repeating. They have a great shot at doing it again. But everybody else gets an offseason to build a better team as well. And this isn't a team to me where I'm not looking at this like I'm looking at the 84 Niners. And I'm like, wow, man. Montana, Rice, that defense, man, this is just unstoppable for years to come. Their 2 best offensive weapons either need an extension for top dollar or are free agents.
So based off of, I know we're going to talk about it when we talk about it, but because we always do this, or at least we did last year. But let's look at New England's opponents next year and see how they're going to be.
I do put a little bit of an asterisk on this conversation because teams get the full offseason. We could go into next season and these teams could be way worse or way better than we thought they were. So I like to look at it at the end of the season, but I do like this conversation, Steve, so go for it.
Well, I just was looking at their opponents next year, and if the league changes from year to year, so it's like you never know how these teams are going to look. You know what I'm saying, next year, because for example, the Ravens game looked really good on the Chiefs in the win column for us, but fast forward to the end of the year, it wasn't worth shit. So anyway, they've got Buffalo, obviously. Okay, I just won't do their division. So they've got at the Bears, at the Chiefs, at the Lions, at the Jags, at the Chargers, and then at the Seahawks. And then at home, they've got Denver, Green Bay, Vegas, Minnesota, and Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so they play the AFC West and the NFC North.
Mm-hmm. They play a first place schedule.
Yeah.
First place schedule.
Like, that's just the...
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree completely.
Rough.
We'll see how they.
If they make it back, it's not going to be because we're saying they had an easy schedule.
No, they'll be battle tested at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can tell me all day that the Patriots are a good team, and I will not argue it because they made the Super Bowl. You cannot tell me the Seahawks or the Patriots are an all-time great team, and that you think they would beat any of the Super Bowl teams from the past 5 years. Any of this Patriots team is the worst team to make the Super Bowl in at least 5 years. That's as far back as I've gone. I haven't looked at all the Super Bowl teams, but Super Bowl teams. So if I can pull up, yeah. So would you take this version over Philly or Kansas City last year? Because I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't take it over any of the Patrick Mahomes winning teams in the Super Bowl. I would not take this Patriots team over. I wouldn't take them over San Francisco. Wouldn't take them over 2023 Philadelphia. Wouldn't take them over the Joe Burrow Bengals. Wouldn't take them over the Tom Brady Bucks. Wouldn't take them over the first Niners team that made the Super Bowl. I might take them over the LA Rams team that lost to the Patriots. I might take them over that team.
Was that Jared Goff?
Yeah, that was Jared Goff. So I might take it over that team. I'm not taking them over either the Eagles or the Patriots from that Super Bowl with Nick Foles. I'm not taking them over the Patriots or the Falcons from the 28-3 game.
Nope.
Not taking them over the Broncos or the Panthers, for sure. Definitely not taking them over Legion of Boom or Tom Brady Patriots. Not taking them over Denver or Seattle from that Super Bowl. Denver played terribly, but that defense was really good, and that offense played really good until that game. And then the Ravens, Niners, that season, that was the last time I would be like, yeah, I might take him over one of those two teams because that was such a weird thing. Baltimore played so out of character in comparison to the regular season. Like, that was a weird thing. But that's going back to 2013.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah, and Drake May's performance, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen the post. It's
all-time bad.
It's an all-time terrible. I mean, he's up there with the husk of Peyton Manning and Rex Grossman.
Yeah.
As far as
Yeah.
But this is what I brought up a few weeks ago on the podcast when we were talking about MVP talk. I brought up that, listen, Drake May, in my opinion, can beat up on nobodies. He can play just as well as anybody against bad teams. What do you do when you have a good team in front of you and they punch you in the mouth? How do you play then? That's what I want to see. And every time that has happened, Houston, Denver, Seattle, when he has had those teams come up to him and punch him in the mouth, he does not play well. And that is the big thing. Almost 90%, 30 guys in the NFL can play good against bad teams because they're NFL quarterbacks. Kadir Sanders can put up 35 on the Titans. Anybody can play
Pro
good.
Bowler, Kadir Sanders.
Yes. Anybody can play good against bad
teams.
teams. Right? Anybody can do that. Consistently, anybody can do that. Not everybody can play good against bad or good against good teams. And Drake May, to me, has shown that when he plays a good defense, he does not play well. He struggles heavily. And I'm not trying to say that Drake May had a bad season or that Drake May's garbage or anything like that. I think he is for sure top 20 in the world at what he does, for sure top 15 in the world at what he does, and there will be an argument very soon, most likely, that he is top 10 in the world at what he does. But that is where I will leave that as far as where he is at career-wise. I do not trust him to be I don't trust him to be an MVP candidate year in and year out. I don't think he'll be an MVP candidate next year. I think that it was a travesty that he finished one first place vote behind Matthew Stafford this year. I think that's insane to me.
Agreed.
Like that, I don't.
Don't they? I was going to say in college that when they're doing the selection, strength of schedule is a part of that, correct? Like
yeah,
that's
absolutely.
That's a measurable
but the way
stat
the
in
NFL's
college.
always looked at it is the NFL's always said, well, they're NFL teams still. They're still NFL caliber team. And that's fine.
But anybody can sit here and look at these rosters and go, okay, it's an NFL team, But
that NFL
You
team
know.
is X, Y, and
Full
Z.
of bums.
exactly,
That
yeah, exactly.
NFL team
Back
is
to
the
shit.
Tennessee Titans. The NFL team is the New Orleans Saints. Like,
Yeah.
I don't don't know. You guys, I mean, I'm curious, actually. Seattle Seahawks.
Everybody on Twitter and X, they were talking about how that one guy who voted for Justin Herbert. I mean, he saw the writing on the wall, man.
yeah, man, he knew.
I mean, it's crazy.
He knew. I'm looking up the NFL schedule for the Seahawks in 2027-28. I think there's no doubt I'll give anybody odds on it. The Seahawks will open up against the Rams week 1 on Thursday Night Football. You have the reigning MVP against the reigning Super Bowl champions. Like there is no bigger hype way to start the season. Like that will happen.
Yeah.
But so just going, this isn't in order. Pardon me, but they have to go to Detroit, play Carolina, at New York, at Cincinnati, which I think Cincinnati will be a better team next year, personally.
Yeah.
Arizona, Cleveland, at Baltimore, Washington Commanders, at LA, San Francisco, at Dallas, at San Francisco, Philadelphia, Arizona, Pittsburgh. So they have 10, in my opinion, tough games next year that are really going to test them, and about 7 that I expect them to dominate those games. So I could easily see a 12-win, 13-win Seahawks team next year. Right? They win all those home games, lose the road games, pull off a win at home, lose one at home.
I'm interested to see how they shore up that roster. With all those contracts.
It's hard to tell as many people as they have up in the air at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I think,
the league's not designed for that. League's not designed for that team to go back to back.
No, for sure. As it shouldn't be.
Incentivize you being bad, but when you're bad, you get the cream of the crop, so they say.
Yeah.
With your
We'll see. So this is weird. This is weird. I was double checking it, and it has two different schedules here, and I don't know which one's right.
You were talking about Seattle's schedule just now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm looking at,
because they play Kansas City next year, and you didn't say
I'm
them,
looking
so I
at
was curious.
NFLplayoff.com, Seattle Seahawks, and that's the one I just read off, and then I'm looking at FBschedules.com, and they have a completely different schedule, and I don't see the Chiefs on either of them.
Pretty sure the Chiefs go to Lumen this year.
But the Vikings are on their schedule, and I don't think they play the Vikings next year.
Did they play them this year?
They don't. All right, here, I got it. Hold on. That was set to, for some reason, when I pulled up FB schedules, they pulled up the 2027 schedule off the rip, and they don't have the 26 schedule up here, which is weird. But, whoa, this is so weird. The 2026 schedule.
Well, it hasn't been released yet, right?
Well, no, but they should have the opponent set.
Yeah, the opponents are released.
Yeah, when I click on the 2026 opponent, it just says it auto sets me to 2008 on this website. It's so weird. Like it just throws me to 2008. I can pull up another one. Seahawks.com future opponents. That'll tell us. Yeah. 2026 home and away opponents. All right, so this is the official. So ignore that last one because I don't know what that was. This is from the Seahawks website. So at home, they play the Cardinals, the Rams, the 49ers, the Cowboys, the Giants, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Bears, and the Patriots. So there's 6 tough games at home. And then on the road, they play the Rams, the Niners, the Eagles, the Commanders, the Broncos, and the Panthers. So there's 12 total tough games they play next season.
Yeah.
They also get to play the Raiders, the Cardinals twice, the Giants. So they're playing a true first place schedule. Like this is not like a New England like, luck of the draw type. They're playing a true first place schedule. I could see heavy regression from the Eagles, the Panthers. I could see regression from the Chargers if they don't shore up their O-line. I could see regression from the Niners
They're
if
the
they're hurt.
postseason favorite.
Who?
The Chargers.
Oh, the
for the
Chargers?
AFC
If the
West.
Chargers stay healthy, I think they wash the AFC West. But
Wash.
I don't know about wash, but I think they're easily a playoff team if they.
They have the hold
They stay
on. They have the second best quarterback in the division. They have the best defensive coach in the division. They have the second most talented defense in the division. And they have, in my opinion, my favorite scheme in the division. That's a personal thing, not a statistical thing. So, not trying to say that's a hard line, but I don't think Kansas City's defense could stop this offense if they're healthy. That's a huge if, because we've seen them not be able to stay healthy. I completely trust this defense to stop Patrick Mahomes and the version of the offense we watched last season. Now, it'll be
Anybody
next
could do
season.
that.
Well, but it'll be next season. So I'm going off what we have seen, not what we will see. So there is absolutely a world where the Chiefs repeat and they get back on top of the AFC West. I'm not trying to say that. I'm saying on paper, if this Chargers team and the team they're building out stay healthy, there's no reason the Denver Broncos, the Kansas City Chiefs, or the Las Vegas Raiders could beat them in that division outright for the division crown with a second place schedule. I don't see it. I am a Herbert believer though in the regular season. I believe he plays really good in the regular season. There's a lot of questions around him in the playoffs. I like him in the regular season. I like their wide receiver core. I like their running backs, and they're going to have a little bit of money to go get a better running back. I don't know. But I thought the Chargers were going to be way better. I thought they were going to be 2 or 3 games better this season than they were. So
Everybody's had that. Everybody shared that sentiment. Chargers fans have shared that sentiment for the last 6 years.
yeah, I know. But
You know what I'm saying?
so to give you a similar feel, Steve, that's how I felt about the Lions when Dan Campbell showed up. I was like, yeah, everybody's said that for years. They're not going to be good. And then they went to back-to-back NFC championship games. Or they went to an NFC championship game, then got the 1 seed, I should say.
Mhm.
So I believe in John Harbaugh as much as I believe in Andy Reid, and more than I believe in Sean Payton and Clint Kubiak. I believe that Harbaugh will put together a successful team. And I would wager that I know Reid has had more championships. He's all-time a more legendary head coach, no question about it. I like Harbaugh's style of coaching the defensive minds better personally. Like, that's just a personal feeling. And I'm not going to sit here and say Andy Reid isn't a better coach than John Harbaugh, but John Harbaugh always builds a successful roster and a successful team and gets them into the postseason. Always, period. End of story. That's what he does. And most of the time, they make the Super Bowl or the championship level game that they're trying to make. So I really trust Harbaugh. That's where my faith lies, right, is in Harbaugh. Not so much because of Herbert, I should say. I believe in Harbaugh to get that team right. I believe in him a lot more than his brother, who's taken over the New York job. I do not. They're going to have to ride Scatterboo until his brain literally falls out of his head for that offense.
Especially with that bum they hired as their OC.
Yeah, dude. I mean, they're going to target Malik Neighbors 45 times a game on slants, outs, hitches, screens. He's going to get PPR work all day. But Scatterboo, I mean, you saw it when they were healthy. Scatterboo makes that engine run. Like Jackson Dart is literally just a passenger in the back seat scrolling on his iPad. I feel terrible that he's going to get stuck with Nagy. I feel like that's going to wash him.
Yep.
Steve, I know you have a little bit different opinion.
I still don't think that Nagy was all to blame. I know we disagree with
I'm
that.
not saying he's all to blame, but I feel like Jackson Dart
I know you are.
is not 20. Jackson Dart isn't 35% of the quarterback Patrick Mahomes is, and now he has to try to succeed with that same thing. I think it'll if the Giants are anything, it'll be because of the run game and the defense having a turnaround. which I believe in Harbaugh to get that defense turned around. But I believe in him none on the offensive side of the ball, because without Lamar Jackson, year in and year out, that offense would have been a bottom 3 offense without Lamar Jackson there. So I do not trust him at all to get that offense right. But do you guys have anything you want to add to the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl? All right. Congratulations, Seattle. You are Super Bowl champions, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.